Alright guys, as you can see here, my Sony Rx10 Mark IV. This thing next month, early, I think it's possibly the 10th or the 11th of October I got it. I was lucky to be one of the earlier people to get them, in the UK anyway. This thing has been dropped. It's been in sand, mud, it's got soaking wet. As you can see here, it's got a broken lens cowl there. It's been dropped and bounced. It's filthy dirty 90% of the time, and even that is full of grit still. But it just works. When people say, you know, things aren't necessarily built to last or built to be abused and stuff like that, I can't moan at this thing at all. The only way I haven't really got a really scratched screen on the back is because I've got my quick release tripod mount sits there, and the viewfinder and everything sticks out, so basically you've got a bit of protection for this. But everything else, I mean, you turn it on, it's a little bit slow on some respects. On the wheel though, it's absolutely fine. No drama whatsoever. But as you can see there, it's absolutely filthy. All the grooves here are covered in dust and grit and God knows what, you know. But I just thought I'd do a quick sort of 3-year look at the camera, and just talk about it really. You know, if we ever get a Mark V version, I'd snap one up today, because this thing has done its life, I think, pretty much. I mean, there's sand, and I mean, it's still sand there, sand in here, sand all on the barrel. It's not too bad there, but it's just, it gets used and abused. It's a tool for me. I know lots of people there look after their kit and everything. I do look after my kit, it's not saying that, but if I go out and I'm going to get a shot that I want to get, I will use that piece of equipment. Same for the A7R4 and all my other lenses and everything like that. To get the shot, I will put them at risk. You know, they're a tool. You know, if it's just a hobby and you just love photography and you're just doing it, then you're going to look after your kit a lot more carefully, and probably not put it in situations where it might get soaking wet or whatever, or covered in sand or things like that. You're less likely to be like I am. But you know, I've been in a sandstorm on one of the beaches where the sand has been put. I mean, this thing got absolutely ruined. I mean, it was stuck. The sand was covered it completely, all stuck to it. And the only way I could actually get it off was with a makeup brush, cleaning it all off, hoovering it or vacuuming it, and you know, that was the only way of getting it clean. And it's never really been 100%, because little bits of grit and sand have gone in this gap here, and obviously this gap here, which it has worked its way back out, some of it. And every now and again I stick a thin piece of like a thick piece of paper, even a £5 note goes in quite nicely, and you can just run it through and go round, and it does pull out a little bit of crap. Other than that, it's been absolutely bomb-proof. You know, I was walking and I tripped on a piece of rebar that was in the ground. I couldn't see it was in the grass. I fell over, saved myself, camera went and bounced on a load of hardcore concrete and everything, and you know, it broke this, which I've just super glued back together. It's absolutely fine. Clips back on, absolutely fine, no trouble at all. So you know, it's, for me, it's a tool. It's got shots that, even if I had one of my other cameras with me, A7R3, A7R4, or any other camera, this thing has got me shots that, if I had one of the other cameras with me, and you know, you've got a wide-angle lens on, for example, and something happens in front of you and you need a 400 to 600mm lens on quickly, you've missed the shot. This thing, turn it on, you're at 24, you're at 600 in a matter of a couple of seconds, and you've got the shots. And that has happened multiple times in the last 3 years. And that's, to me, makes this camera worth every single penny that I paid for it. You know, so yes, it was quite expensive when it first came out, about 1,800 quid. But for me, 3 years and it's still going strong. It's been absolutely abused as a tool, but it's never let me down. And like I say, it's pretty ropey at the moment. It looks pretty grim. You know, it does need a very good clean. It's got a few scratches on it, but it's mostly superficial, sort of just grease and dirt and sand, stuff like that in there. I know some people are probably pulling their hair out going, oh my god, I can't believe it's in that condition. But like I say, it is a work tool at the end of the day. It's sits side by side on the other cameras, and you know, it just absolute beast. The quality, yes, we know at higher ISOs it isn't that amazing, but when you get it down sort of the 100, 200 ISO in good light, which is when you're mostly shooting anyway, it performs like you wouldn't believe. Unbelievable camera. One of the best things I've ever bought, and that I'm saying that above things like the A7R4 and things like that. It just blows my mind every time. I mean, 3 years down the line and I'm still impressed with it. That shows you the kind of, you know, that's how good the camera is at the end of the day. If you've been watching my videos before, and there's plenty of Rx10 Mark IV videos that I've got on my playlists and other, you know, videos on there, and you know, I've put it through its paces pretty well. I know I've helped people, which is really good. I'm very happy that I've managed to help people use the camera and get more out of it. I've done quite a few one-on-one lessons, you know, face-to-face with people, teaching them how to get the most from the camera, utilising that FN button, and obviously you can use the zoom lever there, but also you can utilise the zoom wheel there, and depending on what you're doing, can really, you know, help you get the shot you need. So obviously there's loads of other controls, loads of other systems that you can play with and everything like that. But yeah, it's, for coming up to 3 years old, I can't believe it's still alive. It's been battered. I mean, it should be scarred really, but it's held up very well. You know, and you know, even the battery life isn't that bad. You know, I keep it in aeroplane mode most of the time. Very rarely connect it to my phone or anything like that, because I generally shoot, then go home, then offload the images, and then obviously look at them on the computer. I know a lot of people use their phones or iPads and things like that on the go, but I generally just copy straight onto a PC later. But yeah, no, the camera has done well. Like I say, it's worth every penny, I believe. And I'm just looking forward to a Mark V if it does actually come out, because this one is now, I mean, it's still going strong. It just needs a very good clean. I need to actually really give it a good wash down with some alcohol and everything like that, get it really clean, give it a proper dust in there and things like that. You know, the hot shoe cap still goes on. That's actually got a little bit of corrosion actually on the actual hot shoe itself. That's actually, oh no, might not be. Either that or dirt, one of the two. But other than that, I mean, it's been hit with seawater, obviously, which isn't ideal because it's salty. You know, like I say, sand, mud, normal fresh water, rainwater, you know, and everything else, possibly anything in between. It's really been, you know, utilised. Out in the snow as well. Not that we get much snow in the UK, but we have had a bit, and I did, you know, take it out in that, and you know, it keeps going strong. No issues with any buttons. The only issue obviously is where I've had it covered. I mean, it was literally covered in sand. It was just the wheels there, the rings. Aperture ring's fine. A couple of times it did glitch a bit, where obviously it had a bit of grit or something in there, and the contacts were wrong or not connecting properly, and I did that a few times and it was absolutely fine again, but not had any other issues with the camera whatsoever. It's never not started. It's, yeah, I mean, you know, praise Sony for making actually quite a robust bit of kit. I know some people out there have probably had a few that have broken, which I think is just bad luck. You know, I'm not a technical person in the fact that I don't know how robust this thing really is, in the fact that, you know, as you're looking at the chips and the motherboards and all that sort of stuff inside, and the motors and things like that. But like I say, this has been dropped probably 5 or 6 times in 3 years. One quite badly, which obviously it bounced onto a load of concrete and rubble and things like that, and it was still absolutely fine, and it was turned on at the time as well. So there's a pressure switch on the lens, which actually basically put it into non-usable mode, and you just take the battery out, put the battery back in, and then it closed itself down, and then it was, you know, fine. I've done it before where it's obviously had a knock from the side or something like that, and it won't retract until you've cleared it, you know, stuff like that. So it's hard to replicate, because if you actually do drop it, whatever, it sort of obviously has a sensor of some sort, like maybe a G sensor or something, that gets detected, and basically it shuts the systems to stop itself getting damaged even more, I'd imagine. But other than that, yeah, it's done really, really, really well. But who knows what's coming next? You know, are we going to get something else? Like I say, we've asked these questions before. We've, you know, hassled Sony a little bit to see if we can get anything out of them. You know, there's no rumours anymore. There was one rumour last year, but it actually turned out it was another Rx10iv body that came out. I don't know why they keep releasing more and more of those. This thing is so much more usable. It's not huge, fits in a small bag, and it's 1 kilo in weight. So I really don't get, you know, this is and I stand by this, is the most usable all-in-one camera in the world. You know, fast f4 lens, well, and back to f2.4 as well at the wider angles. 24 frames per second bursts, very fast autofocus. Quality is pretty good on the stills, especially at ISO 100. It's very, very good. But like I say, it's not perfect when you get up into the sort of ISO 650 or 640 rather, up to 1000, whatever. It's usable, but you know, you have to add a bit of noise reduction to make it really usable. Anything after that is really not really worth using. But yeah, other than that, it's done me well. Yeah, it's done me well. So yeah, it needs a bit of a bath. We shall do that in the next few days. Give it a bit of a clean. But other than that, no issues whatsoever. And it has been absolutely battered about. I'm looking at it now thinking, blimey, how did it get so grubby? But like I say, it is a usable tool. That's the difference, you know. But yeah. So anyway, guys, any comments below about your RX10 Mark IV? Any problems you've had with it, just out of interest? Anything you love about it or hate about it? And when you say that, is it really that bad? You know, something you hate about it? Yeah. People moan about the movie button being there. I don't think it's really an issue. Not that bad. But you can customise one of these buttons here if you want to move it. But other than that, absolutely brilliant. Anyway, don't forget to click the subscribe button and the little notification bell, and I'll see you soon.